Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, I'm going to review the 1986 film Psycho 3, starring Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates. Of course, this film is a follow-up to the pretty successful film Psycho 2, which came out 3 years earlier. Of course, Anthony Perkins reprised his role as Norman Bates, and not only that, but he also directed this film. Like I said, this film is literally a direct sequel to the second one, so Psycho 2. And this one was a real crazy cluster mess in this film. Like I said, it picks up literally right where the last one left off, where he kills the so-called real biological mother, and now this mother takes over the place of Mrs. Bates. After the results of the second one, which I just reviewed the second one, so check out that video for more details. So now Norman, after preserving the dead body of the one who admits to being his real mother, now Norman is going to renovate the hotel, the Bates Motel, because now he's actually getting business now, because he changed the road. I'm not sure if they changed the roads again, but more people are coming. The population is getting bigger in the town, and people coming by, and there was like a big football game, and he was renting his hotel for this big football game. It was going to have like I think it was like a homecoming game, football game. So he's expecting big crowds for that stuff. So he needs a manager. So he hires his drifter to be the manager, like a musician or something. And while that stuff was going on, there was like this nun who decides to leave the parish and not become a nun anymore. She runs into the Bates Motel and gets a room there, and she develops a love interest with Norman Bates. But I thought it was kind of interesting because in the previous two films, he never really had an actual love interest, except for maybe perving for Janet Leigh in the original Psycho. But he never really had a love interest. So it's kind of interesting that they played with that idea. But what this woman's trying to do is she has the same initials as Marion Crane, which is pretty funny. And so Norman was going nutsy cuckoo over that premise. Then and then she left, and then the former nun leaves. She comes back and tries to help Norman with what he's going through, because she believes that she could save him from his psychosis. And of course, what happens is Norman was actually fine with the drifter manager, and because he was for a while was being paid off by this reporter who wants to find out. This Roman reporter wants to find out if Norman Bates is actually committing murders again. So he was digging. This drifter guy was trying to sniff him out. And he finds out what's really going on, and then Norman kills him. They had a big fight, knocks him out, kills him, and the reporter finds out. The reporter gets killed, and there was another woman who was fooling around with the drifter manager guy, and she gets killed, which is implying that Norman did it, which is true. And dressing up like his mother again, and then you hear the voice, and this time you actually have an actual scene when you have the mother, with the fake mother's dead body. And you want to get into why she's a fake mother. Actually a scene with him actually talking to the dead body in mother's room there. And what was happening was, it was really crazy stuff was going on. And not only that, but Norman finds out from the sheriff that this woman who claimed to be Norman's actual mother was lying to Norman about it. And I find out that she was not your mother. That Norma Bates is actually your mother. She lied about it. She actually kidnapped you, and it was really crazy. And she kidnapped you and went to and that's why she went to the South kidnapping you when you were a baby, from Norma Bates. So, so she was not my real mother. And so Norma Bates was your real mother, Norman. And then, of course, the sheriff was sympathetic to him in Psycho 2. Now realizes that he was wrong the whole time. That Norman was back to his old tricks and killing people. And the sheriff, arrests Norman at the end. And now everybody was dead. In the motel. That the drifter was dead. The nun was actually, the former nun, I should say, that was an accidental death. Maybe that when Norman was fighting with the drifter, he accidentally, goes back, hits the nun, and she falls down the steps. It's kind of like a spoof of what happened in the original movie with the private investigator, where he fell down the stairs when Norman, dressed as his mother, kills him in the original film. That's how she fell down the stairs, and I think they used like a similar camera techniques when she fell down the stairs and she accidentally got stabbed by a statue at the base of the staircase in the base house. And when that was an accidental. There was an accident. But Norman was upset because he actually loves this girl and all that stuff. And now he's after all that stuff, he's being arrested. And so, sorry, you're going to have to be locked up for a much longer time this time. And Norman says to the sheriff, I'm free now. I am now free. Because now I feel like I am free of all that stuff that made me go nuts crazy before. Now I feel like I'm free. And now, because of this film, it ends like a little trilogy of the Psycho movies. But there was a fourth one called Psycho 4: A New Beginning. And it was I think it was like a Showtime TV movie that actually aired on Showtime, the Showtime cable network, on the premium cable station. And they aired that movie. It was hosted by Janet Leigh all night, so she introduced that movie, and then afterwards she had the original Psycho. And Psycho 4 was when Norman was out, and he was on a Dr. Law style radio talk show, and he tells her, the radio host, his whole backstory when he was a kid and how abusive his actual mother, Norma Crane, was, and he actually does show how he killed the two young girls that the psychiatrist mentioned in the original Psycho movie, in the end of the original Psycho, and how he explained everything. So they actually had that scene, and the one that played young Norman in Psycho 4 was actually Henry Thomas from E.T., famous for being in playing Elliot in E.T. back in 1982, 12 years earlier. And of course, which was interesting, he tells the whole backstory. And then what happens is, after he tells his whole story on the radio, he decides with his girlfriend to go back to the old house, the Bates house, and he burns down everything. Burns down the house, burns down the motel, and it was, really a nice close end to the character. The fourth, Psycho 4: A New Beginning, and it was really the last role that Tony Perkins had made, because I think within a year or two he died of AIDS, I believe. And I believe he was also a homosexual as well, Tony Perkins in real life, and this was really his last role, and I thought it was pretty damn good. Psycho 4 was, because it told the whole backstory of Norman Bates. I know there was a TV show called The Bates Motel. I think it was an A&E or something. Had it on. I never really watched it, so I can't really do a review on it. But I thought the Psycho 4 did a good job in ending the whole Norman Bates thing. So that's a review of Cycle 3. I know I touched on Cycle 4, but that's really a review for Cycle 3. Please click on the video, please read it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please forward this video on your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and all on my YouTube channel at rowdyc.com. It's OWDY, and that's c.com. On the homepage of Rowdy Reviewer Christy Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.